On one housing estate in Hemel Hempstead, Christians realised that if they were going to make an impact, they had to begin to meet the practical needs of their friends and neighbours. That's exactly what Arno Andreasen set out to do.
The first thing we did was to do an awful lot in the community. So before we did anything else, we just said, okay, let's try to find a way to help out. So we contacted different charities, we contacted local authorities, said, what do you need? In which way can we help out? And we now become very, very active in the local community. Some of the people that we work with are young people who've been to prison. Other people have been thrown out of school. Others would have tried but didn't really make it in school. Things like GCSE is not really their favourite kind of a thing to think about. And they're just given up. A lot of them feel that, what's the point? It's hopeless. They feel apathy. And what we're trying to do is to infuse them again, saying, hey, which area is it that you find meaningful? Which area is it that you're passionate about? The Bible says that God has given each one of us the ability to do certain things well. And if that is true, it's just a matter of finding those areas and those talents and combine it with passion, and we can start to bring out personality and uniqueness.
I've always loved football. I just want to be involved in it when I'm older. Most days we get together and do portfolio work.
I think if there's people out there who haven't got anything to do, basically, then this is definitely a course that I recommend. There's plenty of opportunities out there to do something that you really like doing. It's definitely worthwhile, yeah.
From our experience, we now put in 10,000 hours a year, but it does not especially mean explosive church growth. But what it does mean is a lot of favour. You get a track record in the community, people trust you. So when we're also trying to say some of the spiritual stuff and trying to explain our faith, we have a different kind of openness from people to listen to what we have to say too. It's a much longer time period as well, so from you start planning until you actually can get going, often takes a very long time. For our sports project, for instance, it took 3 years. We thought that everything would go quick. It'll be quick to get into school-to-school assemblies. It'll be quick for Borough Council to support us. It'll be quick for the funders to support us. And just realise, no, it's not. It takes time. And especially coming from the faith community, they need to make sure that you're not just talking about things, but you deliver the goods. They want to make sure you're not evangelizing all the time, but they can trust you. They know that you'll have high standards in everything that you do, and that takes time. So it's a very long period, and for my own life, we committed our lives to this community for the rest of our lives. We said, if we are going to plant a church here, we're going to stay around, and people will see us on the good days, good years, bad years, but we'll still be around. So we will show high commitment, and we expect the same of others. I think it's very important to be very specific. You know, if you want to reach everybody, you'll reach none. If you're trying to reach one, you'll reach many. And so I think that our success with our sports project is, it's not just a sports project, it's a football project. Very specific. If you're interested in this, come along, and then you'll get something out of it. So I think that it's so important to be very specific, have a very clear target, very clear goal.
I think it's amazing that you've done this from just such a short interview, that you've been able to create an article that people...
Interpersonal skills of a project like this is obviously very important, because in order to help somebody learn, you've really got to be a friend to them, you've really got to understand them. So, I'm really glad to say that we have got a project here where friendship is a very important thing.
Think of some of the key successes we have had. It is, for instance, that we were asked to come and help in the local community centre. It was closing down, it was in huge debts, and because of a bit of our track record, we say, would you try, would some of your guys, would you try to turn around this centre? And we turned it around in 6 months. And that immediately became one of these big things where people said, oh, you can do it. You're good at working in the community. We like it. It's much better now than it was before. We've had very positive visits from government, the early inspections for education for over 16-year-olds, very positive again. So those are some of the successes, and just keep on going, having high standards. No matter if you get funding for it or not, show the high standards so that people can get convinced that you're trustworthy. And out of that, next things will happen. Those who have will be given more, or those who don't have, even what they've got will be taken away from them. You need to get to somewhere where you actually the snowball start to roll, and then people start to become interested in you.